What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Garage of Awesomeness. Thank you for tuning in. And, my bad, I haven't been really posting that much lately. Been kind of going through a few things, good things, not bad things, and had a few opportunities present themselves that I took advantage of in a good way, obviously not a bad way. So an opportunity presented itself as of late. And as you can tell, there's nothing in the garage right now, but that's because what I'm gonna go over with you guys and gals today is sitting on the front of my garage door right here in my driveway. And we're gonna get to that in a second. The F-150, if you've been watching any of those videos, super excited with how that truck turned out. Very, very fortunate enough to be able to do everything that I did to that truck and learn as much as I did. Definitely kind of a crash course in Fords, which I'm totally fine with. It's a nice truck. The power plant in that thing with the 5-liter and the 10-speed is phenomenal. I learned a lot and I will get another one. So with that being said, that truck is going away because once this opportunity presented itself, I couldn't pass on it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wanted to keep the Ford to finish it out, put some power under the hood, just have just an awesome, clean little truck that turned a few heads, maybe hurt a few feelings, but the opportunity that I've got, that I took advantage of, that I'm extremely blessed to be able to have, superseded that by far. So the 2018 Mega Cab is still around, still here, right? That truck is actually, I'll be lowering that one back down, putting a bit smaller tire on it to make it more daily driver friendly and set it up to be a little bit better tow rig because that will be my wife's new truck, or new to her, I should say. But that's a story for another video, another time. So without further ado, let me show you guys and gals what I'm gonna be tinkering with for hopefully some time to come. But let me tell you, this is a new, fresh, clean slate for me, right? So there's nothing on this truck that I have to fix from a previous owner. There's no, seat stains or carpet stains or dings or dents or scratches or needs tires or any of that kind of stuff, right? It's new, right? Side story, I did order this a couple months back. When it arrived, I was not in the position to take advantage of it. And things changed. And I couldn't be more happy or blessed to be in the position that I'm in right now, right? So, not trying to get soppy or sappy on you, but let's take a look at it. Now I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna go over everything I'm gonna do with this thing. And I'm telling you right now, I promise I'm gonna try to get everything on video and show you because some of this stuff is super easy to do, some of it not so easy to do, but in the grand scheme of things, everything in my opportunities of learning, chance to learn and better myself. So if I can pass that along to you guys or gals and one or two of you takes that and says, oh, I didn't know I could do that and it's that easy, right? Let's go. So without further ado, I present to you less than 12 hours old to me, right? Hold on. Holding. What's on the other side of this door, right? This is going to be fun. And I couldn't be happier. So, are you ready? Are you ready? Oh, I didn't turn the camera around. I'm gonna turn it around now though, and I'm gonna show you. And I bet probably some of you can already guess what it is, right? And that's fine because the way I look at it, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And here we go. There you go. Brand new 2024 Ram 2500 Laramie Night Edition Mega Cab with all the fixings on it, right? Ordered from the manufacturer with the way that I want it, with everything on it that I want. No corners cut for what I wanted, and I didn't have to sacrifice anything. So I couldn't be more excited. And I want to show you guys and gals this because if you work your ass off, don't let anyone tell you what you can or can't do, right? Take that with a grain of salt. I'm not telling you to go out and do bad stuff. And you have the drive. There is nothing that you can't do. Truly, there's nothing that you can't do. And this right here, to me, is monumental. It's huge because I'm in a position where I can do this. And I'm in a position where I can share this with you guys and I can show you what I'm gonna do with it. And hopefully this is just the start of greater things to come. So anyway, let's get to the truck. First things first. This is coming off today. And I don't care if there's holes in the bumper or not, but this just looks, oh, look at that. God, that's really stout. No, it's not. It's coming off and going in the trash. I'm gonna probably be keeping the bumpers on this thing stock for a bit. I like the bumpers on them. I think they look good. I'm not painting any of this stuff. I'm not doing anything up here, right? If the bumper's staying on it, the only thing I'm gonna be doing is taking off the plastic valance down here. That's about 3 feet tall. I know I'm over exaggerating. I just think it looks, I'm not a fan of it. So what I'll be putting on there once that comes off is a CJC intercooler guard that'll have powder coated white to match the truck, because I think the black just kind of fades away and you don't really see it. And I think that's one of those parts that looks great and does offer a bit of protection for the bottom side of the intercooler. So that'll be going on. The grill, obviously I'll be having the letters painted in white to match the truck, but the grill itself is coming out. Now, I did a little digging on Instagram, on the interwebs, a little research. I'm gonna throw a Longhorn grill in this thing, and I'm gonna have the slats painted black. I think it looks clean. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm not getting rid of the grill, so if I don't like it, I can swap it back on. Headlights wise, you probably guessed it, I'll be taking the stock headlights out. I'll be throwing a set of Alpha Rex Novas in there. I love those headlights. I think the running lights look great. They're bright, and the install on them is super easy and super straightforward. So that's kind of what I'll be doing in the front end probably here in the next couple of weeks. One of the cool things I like about this truck is it already has a sport hood on it. Now, my last 2 5th gens, I ended up buying the sport hood and all the accessories and everything, putting them on my big silver 21 and then my white 2021 that I had last year, I guess into this year. Yeah, I did put a sport hood on it. Turned out great, looked awesome, but yeah, this has it from the factory, so I know the paint matches for the most part. Anyway, so this will be staying black, right? I like the way that looks, and it kind of breaks up the white in the front end. The side vents on the truck, I'll be having these painted white. The actual scoops themselves in here will stay black. And then the 2500 and the heavy duty lettering and badging, that will all be gloss black, okay? I know, trash can, spare tire. This is what I wanted to show you. So these right here, okay? These are a set of brand new 325, 45 Nitto Terra Grappler tires that I found on Marketplace, and they were new. They had the stickers on them. They still have the nipples on them. They've never been mounted on a wheel. Now, I did say 24. This truck is gonna get these tires, which will be wrapped around a badass set of JTX wheels that are probably getting made right now, so I probably won't have them for a few weeks, but that's okay, because it gives me time to get the truck ready to rock and roll before I throw those on. But, guys and gals, I'm gonna be honest with you. These tires, probably one of my favorite tires of all time, hands down. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of Nitto. I have Nittos on everything that I have, literally. The F-150 has 420 Vs. The Grand Cherokee has Nitto Recon grapplers. My other Mega Cab has Nitto Ridge grapplers, 3813 5020s. So it's only right that these go on this, my new daily driver. And these are new. And I will tell you, quick note, the side profile on these tires, when you put a nice 10 wide or 12 wide wheel on them, is perfect. There's no stretching. They're almost boxed off to a T, and they look phenomenal. So anyway, so stay tuned for those, because when the wheels get here, I'll show you guys. I'm gonna clean them up, ceramic coat those, and then do a little bit of work in the wheel wells as I'm putting the wheels and tires on. Another video, that's gonna be fun. I know, so much to go over, right? I'm so excited. So anyway, there's the F-150 as it sits now. And yes, I did put a Cervini's 4-inch cowl on it. I'll show you guys that here in a second. But let's get back to the main star of the video. I'm gonna be honest with you. These new tow mirrors, I'm indifferent on them. I like them, but I don't love them, right? Yes, they're power telescoping. Yes, they have a ton of features. I mean, you'd almost need like a whole separate owner's manual just to learn how to use these things. I'm gonna be honest with you. These things got, I mean, obviously this is like your temperature sensor. They got the little camera underneath here, right? They got all these lights right here that you can see in the bottom are forward-facing lights for whenever you need those, right? Coming around back here, they've got another light down here, right? They've got powered and heated convex glass as well as your main glass. And I'm gonna show you the controls for these things on the door. You're gonna be like, what? Yeah, anyway, but hold on, let me show you something. Glass all the way around, tinted, done. Had that done yesterday before I even took the truck home. Super excited, super fortunate enough to get that done with some guys that do phenomenal work. Let's move to the inside. So, are you ready? I did order this truck exactly the way that I want it. So for starters, you're gonna notice, holy crikeys, Kenny, where's the buckets? It's got a bench seat. It's got carpet up front and a little storage thing. I don't like the bucket seats. It's more area for stuff to get in or put stuff in or get dirty that I gotta clean. So I went with a bench, but it's a decked out truck with a bench seat. The seats are still heated and ventilated, powered, all that kind of stuff's all there, right? I love it. I did order the truck. So probably not a ton out there like this one, which I'm totally fine with. It does have the new digital gauges in it, which I'll show you guys here in a second. And like I said, the truck's got 63 miles on it, brand new. Adjustable pedals, 12-inch radio. It is a level 2 or level B or whatever it is. So it's got the Harman Kardon stereo, which I'm gonna be honest with you, I've been looking at Fords, I've been looking at GMCs and Chevys over the last few weeks just to kind of see what was out there and kind of get a feel for them. They all make great trucks, right? Don't get me wrong. I mean, the newer Fords with the 10-speed and even the standard output 6.7 Power Stroke, damn, those things run. The Duramaxes, they run, period. I mean, 10-speed, plenty of power, comfortable, but the stereo in this thing, by far, in my opinion, I mean, it is the best stereo that I think that you can get in a heavy-duty truck. So I ordered this one with the Harman Kardon, and I love it. And I am a huge music person, right? Like, if you're going to be driving around in something and you like music, I don't really feel like putting a bunch of aftermarket stuff in here. So I went with the Harman Kardon, and it sounds great. So don't sell yourself short. Now, I also ordered this truck with the auxiliary switches from the factory. So if I do decide to throw bumpers or auxiliary lights on this thing, it is so easy to install, and it's so easy to run the wiring under the hood, find the plug for the right auxiliary, 1 through 6 that you want to use, and that's it. Ground it, plug it in, you're done. Less time that I got to spend cutting and splicing and all that kind of stuff. So super easy, okay? And obviously this is a mega cab. So there it is. It's huge. Yeah. I mean, the window sticker's even laminated. It's kind of neat. It has my name on it. It's kind of cool. And as you can tell, still got my wash bucket in here because, yes, I washed it this morning. Now, let's move around back. Let me show you. So, one of the things that I kind of messed up on, right? And I'm going to show you here in a second. I didn't order the bed lights, which I'm kind of bummed out, right? So they would install right here the light to basically control the bed lights as well as the third brake light. The button would be right there. But I did get the bed liner. I did get the third brake light with the camera in it. So yeah, I guess I'll install that down the road, but that's not too hard. Now let me go on a brief rant. This truck, nicely equipped, has all the good stuff in it. But they stopped putting fender flares in these things a couple years ago, right? I don't get it, and I couldn't tell you. I've worked with Ram for a long time, over 2 decades to be exact, and I am old. I mean, you may think I'm young, but I'm old. I mean, if you look at what facial hair I have or hair on my head, right? I got grays. That's just me being honest with you guys. But in my 20 plus years with Ram, this is probably one of the dumbest things, in my opinion, that they've done. They took fender flares away from a truck that used to come standard with them that, in my opinion, really helped the side profile of the truck and obviously protect the paint for the most part. And they don't even offer them anymore. So what I did, I ordered some factory fender flares for a 2022 Laramie, right? That I'll be installing on here, painted to match. The truck height-wise will get a full Carly kit. So it'll be a 3.25, if I'm not mistaken, kit. And then obviously once the wheels show up, I'll get the wheels and tires mounted. I'll get the wheels, I'll ceramic coat them, get them all done, throw them on the truck. The truck will be getting paint matched. I'll be doing the tail lights, third brake light, and the rear tailgate logo in the tailgate itself. All that's gonna be paint matched and tinted, and then taking the badges off, which I'm gonna do today. and the front license plate today. And probably clean the inside of the truck today. So with that being said, I'm excited to show you guys what I'm doing, how I'm doing everything. I'm gonna put the, I don't know, I mean, I guess I could do the debadging on this video because it really doesn't take long. And I'm gonna show you the stuff that I use because it's super easy. And then obviously the front license plate I'm gonna order. There's a company that I found called bumperplugs.com that actually sells plugs for front bumpers if you take the license plates off, that are painted to match most color codes for at least Stellantis products. So I'll be ordering a set of those to fill in the holes in the front bumper where the front license plate was. And yeah, but I'm stoked. I'm gonna show you guys everything on the truck. I'm gonna go through everything with you. I'll probably put one of those soft Gator roll-up bed covers on it. Obviously the lift, I'll be doing a black, I believe it's MBRP DPF back exhaust kit on it, obviously to clean that up back there. And then the truck is new, so I may just prep and ceramic coat and seal the frame on this thing so it looks good. Now, that may sound like a bit much, but that's okay because it's keeping me involved. It's giving me stuff to do. And to me, all this stuff that I do is all therapeutic, right? It is fun. And if I don't know how to do it, I'll find someone that does and I'm gonna learn, because at the end of the day, I'm not really one that's really good at asking for help, but I also don't want to run the risk of messing something up either. So here you go. There she is in all her glory. I spent 2 hours this morning washing it. I haven't had the truck for 12 hours yet, and I've already feel like I've made some good progress. So I'm going to get the truck in here and then get the badges going, or coming off, I should say. I'll show you guys and gals again what I use for those. And that's it. So let me get the truck pulled in and get all the stuff that I need to pull the badges off and get it cleaned up, and let's get started. All right, guys, so we're gonna start with the Cummins logo on the side, and then obviously the Ram lettering on the door. So the three things that I use that make it pretty easy, honestly, I picked up, I don't know if you remember from one of my older videos, my last heat gun caught fire. So I went and picked up this Wagner heat gun from, I believe it was Lowe's, for like 20 bucks. It's worked pretty well, honestly. I do like it because you can actually set it down on the backside. So when you're letting it cool off after using it, you don't have to worry about it falling over or burning something that's not supposed to. So that's the first thing, right? And then obviously coupled with that, I have a screwdriver, which I'll show you, which I've bent the end up on to help kind of get under the badges, to pull the badges off. Once the badges are off, obviously most cases, the adhesive is still there. So I ended up using this little eraser wheel, okay? I picked this up over at O'Reilly's for, I think it was 20 bucks or 27 bucks, something like that. And this thing works wonders. Now, you don't have to press down on the paint when you're using this. You just kind of want to drag it over or kind of move it over the adhesive, let it do its work, and it gets everything off. It gets all the adhesive, all the junk, everything, which is beautiful, right? And as you can tell, I've used this one on pretty much everything that I own over the last 6-7 months. To finish it off, to make sure I didn't miss any adhesive, I do have a Meguiar's Quick Detailer that I'll spray on the paint and then obviously wipe everything off again to make sure that I didn't leave any residue behind. And then if there are any kind of surface scratches or anything, I do have a Mazerna, kind of a light scratch. I think it's the stage 2, if I'm not mistaken, wax that I use to basically get it all cleaned up, get any kind of scratches removed that I may or may not have caused, and that's it. That easy. You can't even tell that the badge is there. So I'm gonna do driver's side. I'm gonna take the front license plate off, and then I'll move the truck over and do the passenger side. Once I do that, I'll get the Laramie and the 4x4 logos off the tailgate, and that's it. It's debadged. So I want to get that knocked out because I'd like to get started on clay barring the truck and getting all kind of the rail contaminants and all the crap from it just sitting on the lot for a few months off of the paint. I was able to get most of it off this morning at the car wash, which is why it did take me a bit longer than it usually does when I'm washing one of my trucks. So without further ado, I'm gonna get started. I'll show you with the heat gun how easy this is to use, and then obviously you don't want it on the badge, you just want to hold it kind of at Sometimes I'll get within 3 inches, but typically, you know, good rule of thumb is about 6 inches away or greater, you know, depending on your, you know, comfortability level. That way you're not causing any kind of permanent damage with the heat in one area with the heat gun. So let me grab my little screwdriver. I'll show you guys that too, and I'll get these badges coming off. Here's the screwdriver I was telling you about. And I don't know if you can tell, but I bent this up ever so slightly, a set of pliers, right, easy to do. Just so that way I can kind of get underneath the badge and kind of pull them off, and I don't have to worry about scratching the paint. And again, you don't have to use this. A lot of people use fishing line, which works really well to take the badge off. I have no fishing line. They're in my fishing reels, and I don't feel like taking off a bunch of fishing line to do this. Plus, I have the heat gun. It's worked really well for me, so that's what I'm gonna stick with. So let's get to work. Now, there are 2 settings temperature-wise on this heat gun. There's obviously a low and a high, and the first setting is low, the second setting is high. I'm gonna go with the high. Typically what I'll do is I'll turn it on and kind of let it sit for a minute. I'll let it get heated up. That way I don't have to keep it on the paint or around the areas that I'm taking the badges off for very long. So once this gets heated up, you can actually see inside there, it's starting to go orange. It'll get a bit more orange as it gets hotter, obviously. And then I'll get to work on getting the Cummins badge off. I'll use my eraser wheel on it, help clean that off, and then get the Ram badges off. Now, as with anything that I do on my trucks nowadays, or Jeep, or whatever it may be, you gotta be safe, right? Be smart about it. If you're not super comfortable doing it, right? I'm not telling you to do it, but maybe ask for help. You never know. But obviously safety first. So I'm gonna throw on a set of safety goggles or safety glasses that I've got just in the event. You never know, right? One of those pieces of adhesive flies off with the eraser wheel, gets me in the eye, that'd be no bueno. So let me grab my little safety glasses. Looks like the heat gun is about as hot as it's gonna get right now. So I can get to work on getting these off and getting the sides of the truck cleaned up. I know, super stylish, right? Really in with the times. Really excited. They're really clean. Now, if you notice, obviously the truck is new enough where the badges didn't really require a whole ton of heating up, which is good. But I'm gonna try to get my finger in here and see how much of this I can actually get off without using the eraser wheel. Because now it's heated up, the truck is new, so hopefully this stuff isn't on there too bad. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really have nails. So, now just for grins, I may heat this section up again because it's obviously gotten cool, just to try to take it off by hand. And then I'll show you the outline that it kind of left behind. I'll use the eraser wheel on that, wipe it off, make sure it's all good to go. Again, I'm not pressing I'm actually not applying a ton of pressure with the eraser wheel, so it shouldn't leave any kind of scratches or anything. So let me toss this. Let's heat it up a little bit. Doesn't have to be on there for a long time. Keep in mind the plastic's not covering it anymore. So that heat is going straight to the badge or the adhesive itself. That's pretty much it. use my detail bucket, which doubles up as a little chair. And I'm going to take the eraser wheel, right, low speed, nothing too crazy, and just start to make some passes over. You can still see the adhesive on it, but obviously the majority of this stuff is gone, the big stuff. So shouldn't take too long to make a few passes over it, get the rest of the adhesive off, and then get it cleaned up. It does make a little bit of a mess, but it ain't too bad. Now I'll spray it down. Now the nice thing with going about it this way is as you're kind of cleaning it up and wiping it off, you'll be able to see what leftover adhesive is on there, because it does get a little bit darker, obviously, because it kind of picks up whatever dirt or whatever you have on your rag, which is nice. And having some decent lighting doesn't hurt either. So with that being said, I've got one little section right here and right here. Boom. I got one little last piece, and then that's it. I'll take a little bit of the Mizurna, the Mizurna kind of wax cleaner, whatever you want to call it, that I've got. Just go over it one time, clean up the light scratches on there, and move on to the ram badge. Get it going. And that's it. Badge is gone, adhesive is off. Now, obviously the area that I was working on is cool to the touch, using some of the quick detailer on it. So I'll do one quick pass by hand with just one of my little blue waxing pads. I'll show you guys that here in a second. And once that's done, move on to this. I mean, again, it doesn't take very long. It is pretty easy to do. And in my opinion, I like the way that it looks without the badges on. I just think the truck looks cleaner. So, yeah. So let me show you my last step, basically to make it kind of disappear. 1 second. Now you can use, like a light polish or something if you wanted to. I've got machines that I can use that I will end up using on this truck. But for this, in this particular example, I'm going to just use one of my little blue pads that I've got. Not super coarse, not super fine, just so I can make sure that I get everything off of there scratch-wise. And then, like I said, I've got this Mizurna. It's a medium cut polish, the 2500. They make very, very good products. And I'm not endorsed by them or anything, but I was actually turned on to them by a good friend of mine and started using them, and honestly haven't looked back. So let me put a little bit here on my rag. Add a little bit, that's a lot. But anyway, rather to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So just kind of go over it lightly where the badge was. Now, typically you let it dry and do all that kind of good stuff, which you can. I'm not. I'm actually just going to literally spray a little bit more of this quick detailer on there, wipe it off so I don't get a bunch more residue, more mess for myself, and then sit back and stare at it. And that's it, guys. All done. So, again, if you like the badges, great. If not, it's a super easy way and not very time consuming way to go about taking them off, cleaning it up, and you can't even tell. Yeah, that actually looks really good. So yeah, now I will be going through and doing all the paint correction and clay bar on the truck too, so I'm not looking for perfection right now, but to, in the interim until I get to that point, when I get done doing a couple of little things with the truck, it's got to look good, in my opinion, right? Because I am my own worst critic. And yeah, right, it's a new truck. It's got to look new. So that's it. Let me show you. I don't know how well the camera picks it up, but I mean, it looks pretty good. I mean, no scratches, right? No paint defects right there, which is good. So yeah. So now I'll move on to the Ram logo, get the passenger side done, get the tailgate, and then I'll show you guys the final product. But that's pretty much that. And it is obviously very easy to do. And going about it this route, I mean, I've done the fishing string method as well. That doesn't take very long either. And sometimes it does, you know, maybe you have to use some glue gun on it or some kind of adhesive remover. If you don't have a heat gun, if you don't have the eraser wheel, there's a ton of different ways to get these off and do it effectively and not damage the paint or anything of that. So this is just the way that I prefer, and I found that it works very well and doesn't take a ton of time. So in fact, if I wasn't recording, I'd have probably had that badge off, done, and cleaned up in probably about 8 minutes. Maybe I'll time myself in one of the next ones just to see, right? But yeah, there you go. Pretty easy to do. If you have any questions, leave them down below, but I got to get back to working on this because I got a bit more to do to it before I'm going to be excited with how it sits, because, well, the interior, it's a new truck, but it's kind of dirty. So I'm going to get that cleaned up today, get the seats all treated and ready to rock and roll too, and then get the carpets perfect, and then throw some all-weather mats in it, and that's it. I ain't going to really do a whole lot to the interior. I like it the way that it is. So anyway, done. Let me know if you have any questions below.